This is Wilson Morales from Black Film TV talking to the guys of Fright Club. So my first question is, how different is this from Ghost Brothers? Who can answer that first?
Yeah, I mean, it's way different from Ghost Brothers. It's a lot safer than Ghost Brothers because we're literally in the comfort of the studio watching clips with our friends. You know, this is more of us just reacting to other people doing the work.
Yeah. You know, and so the question is why give up Ghost Brothers and do this new one?
Give up is a very weird word because we didn't give up. We actually have Ghost Brothers coming back out. We just added to the brand. So
Wilson, we got two jobs. We got two jobs.
Come on now. We brothers. we know how to work, man. We know how to work. We know how to work.
You know, so when anybody Googles your name, the first thing that's going to come up is Ghost Brothers, and then it's like, oh, you know, they like them so much, but in a different format. You know, they're not going to know that. Oh, you know, it's like, is it an anthology series? Where they do something different? And so the question is, obviously, with Fright Club, just so the audience can get an idea, what's the difference between this one and Ghost Brothers? And like you just mentioned, you know, you're watching other people do it as opposed to you guys going out there doing it yourselves, right?
Right. Yeah. So with this one, with Fright Club, the main difference is it's people submitting paranormal clips that we're sitting around reviewing. And we're reviewing all things paranormal, from UFOs to Bigfoot to ghosts. And we're just kind of reviewing those amongst ourselves and giving our feedback. You know, with Ghost Brothers, we were in the action. We were the ones out in the field capturing this evidence and investigating those type of things for ourselves. But we didn't really tackle Bigfoot. So like now we're actually kind of getting into a new space. And it's actually really intriguing because we get some really good Bigfoot evidence on Fright Club. Really good.
I don't know if we could tackle Bigfoot because he is kind of big, but
hey, he hits that A gap.
How's your 3-point stance, Marcus? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to come off the line.
Well, you saw that. I'm in a football. You know, I'm in a football situation right now. So I know I've been working on all that.
So how much work goes into getting the story?
So, you know what? The internet provides a plethora, a breeding ground of paranormal clips. Like you can literally go on YouTube right now, just type in scary clips and a million videos pop up. And a lot of these people, the people that upload their clips, they want people to see it and they want to discuss it. So it's easy to contact these people and then have them come in and present their clips and us just chop it up with them.
Because we've had a lot of opportunities where, you catch something that you've never seen before, just so happen to have it on your phone, and you upload it and you start asking everybody like, what's happening? What y'all think about it? So this is actually the first time a show has been able to be like, yo, this is what this is, because we bring on experts. We from Sasquatch experts to psychics we bring on a lot of different people, mediums who actually have some experience in some of these like phenomenon, and it's just kind of like unique that this is, we mix it with that humor. It's great.
So in terms of the process, in terms of the talk to people that you're talking to and the research, which is longer to produce? Was it this particular show or Ghost Brothers? Is it more work and more challenging?
Ghost Brothers.
Ghost Brothers, hands down.
They love making that tough. Unnecessary.
That series, it takes, really a full week to shoot an episode of Ghost Brothers, as opposed to Fright Club. You can knock out a lot in a day.
Really? Yeah. Now, where does Jack come in? How did he get involved with you guys?
We all have shows on Travel Channel, or now on Discovery Plus. And probably about a year and a half ago, they brought us all out for an event, and we met, and the chemistry was like we were all just friends from high school. Like, people don't know, man. Jack is a thug.
Yeah, Dalen, you ain't gonna tell him how we really met Jack. We met Jack at a cookout playing dominoes.
It was a dice game. We were shooting dice.
Boom. So was it like a producer put your arm together like a boy band? He's a new flavor.
Well, it was almost like combining super powerhouses. So it was kind of like a WWF match, and it was like King of the Ring. You had your little part. Nah, you know what I'm talking. Listen,
it's like bringing Iron Man. It's like bringing Iron Man and War Machine together. You know what I'm saying? It was like two different, like you said, superheroes two different brands that were like really, you know, similar. We have a good time. We have a good rapport. And it's just you know, and especially now at times, I think that it is kind of cool that we are so different in a sense and so similar, because it shows like what America really is. We kind of always focus on each other's differences versus what we are alike in. And I think that this show really gives everybody another time to kind of breathe and be like, oh man, well, you know what? Maybe I can kick it with somebody that may not necessarily be in my tribe or in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So this just shows that, you know, you can have fun. You can all find a commonality, which is Bigfoot toenail, and just talk about it.
Now, towards the end of the show, you guys always have like, you know, who's got the best clip and so forth. You know, like how much work goes into like deciding, okay, and it's almost like for each show, you got to one up each other.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. That's the name.
You know, so you guys have your own, and you know, do you guys go about and doing something? And how do you do this show and still keep your day job?
You all up in our financials now, Wilson.
Now you all up in our financials. You see, I got mutuals over here, and I got
liabilities over there.
I got assets, liabilities. I got guns and butters. I got all these things working.
You would think that since you have two shows, y'all can give up the fashion business, the hair cutting business. You know,
we actually operate in seasons. It's funny. Our lives have turned into seasons. So like I know Marcus, you know, you have like NBA season, All-Star season where you do all the cutting that you do right then. And then comes Ghost Brother seasons. Me and Juwan, we have wedding season for our suits or whatnot. So it's just like our year has just turned into seasons that we operate in.
Now, are you guys based in Atlanta? Because you talk as if there's no pandemic.
Hey, we wide open in the A, baby.
Hey, man, listen.
We are based in Atlanta.
Let me just put this out there too. Folks be trying to judge Atlanta as if Atlanta voted that we wanted to be open. When them landlords said, hey, we're going to still be taxing you guys, we had to say, hey, we got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So It is what it is.
You know, because I'm like, and even with this show, obviously everybody's taking precautions in terms of doing anything. You know, you don't get that many background performers. There's always a lot of shows. You know, so what you're getting now is a product where there's a limited amount of people on the set. You know, how has that affected this show with what you're doing?
You know what?
Go ahead, Dave.
I think what made this one a little bit different is when we shoot stuff like that, we're used to the crowd feedback. So like if somebody tells a joke, our goal, like you said, it seems like a competition, like you guys are trying to one up each other. Like with us, we try to get a good joke. You get a good joke in, the power is in making the cameraman laugh or the producer laugh or the director laugh, making them break what you know that they're not supposed to do. But now having a closed set and fewer people in there, it's just like, dang, man, you're not getting that same type of like immediate response that you would get typically. You know, typically might be 20, 30 people on a set somewhere. And you say something that's funny, everybody might laugh and you know you got you one. But now it might be 6, 7, 8 people on the set, and they're the people that are like, that need to be there. So you might drop a joke and it doesn't get a response. And now you insecure about it. And you got to wait till the show for people to hear it and see how they react. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, throughout the last two,
what'd you say?
No, I was going to say, I mean, it's kind of like piggybacking off what Dalen was saying, but for us, what's really important when it comes down to filming and production is energy. And the energy amongst the crew, as opposed, and in addition to the energy with the cast. And, you know, ever since COVID, the energy is just kind of off amongst people, like amongst like the I guess you can call it like the casual intimacy that ones would have. Like you just don't really get that day to day anymore. And that's really what's different for me. But even to Dalen's point, like you don't get people right. Like we're not getting everybody's laughter involved because everybody's not the same, or we don't have as many people. So it was really just like a eye-opening experience and a challenging one for us to actually film both shows.
Even with that too, bro, it's like how, like, you know, sometimes, and everybody with masks, like sometimes they would laugh, but you can't hear them because their mask is covering the laugh up. Yeah. So you're not, you know, you're like, did that hit or if it didn't? But like you said, man, that's a very good point, Juwan, especially how like the interaction with people kind of changed because everybody was just very on edge. And for us, when we first started Ghost Brothers, we were shooting Ghost Brothers first, and then in the middle of Ghost Brothers, we shot Fright Club, and like we were going from like just people like being in the house for like 6 straight months to like literally going on the road and not knowing if going out was going to like just be in the air was just going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? It was like really at the height of the pandemic, so it was, like you said, it was very tough. It was very nerve-wracking. It needed a lot of patience, but I'm glad we got through it. I'm glad we did it. It was good to have my brothers with me to do it, because I don't know if we would have been able to do it if either one of them were like missing. Any of us were missing in it.
That just brings. Are there any stories regarding paranoia, paranormal, and the pandemic? Is that coming up? Do we have any sort of segment stories?
Not necessarily this season of Fright Club, because I think probably because we were filming during it, but I guarantee next season, because we put a link at the end of the show for people to send in clips, and I know with people being home more during this pandemic, they probably are experiencing more paranormal activity. So I'm just excited to see what they have coming for us next season.
Oh yeah, you never know. Like I live in New York City, and there was a point in time you're walking down the streets, and it's looking like I Am Legend, like you're the only one in the main street, and you're like, yo, where is everybody? And, if you see any sort of like a rapper, flying around in the air, you're like wondering stuff, But with so much, everybody's home, for the time being, and there's a lot of programs on TV, streaming channels. What's the sell to seeing this show? Especially, you already have a lot of networks to begin with. So one, we got to sell Discovery, then we got to sell the show, because I always believe that, like, okay, when people are investing in any sort of channel, they want more than just one program. Like if they're going to pay for it, I don't want to pay for just one thing, but if they are, this has got to be the doozy, so for any one of you, what's the sell to this? Because in a way, as much as you want to sell both shows, you want to make this show stand out on its own.
Right. I think that it's been a huge plus because we were all pretty nervous about adjusting to streaming, going from network television to streaming, because now you're asking people to, like you said, just find the show. But what we found since airing on streaming, you're getting people that may have just been logging on to Discovery Plus for HGTV or for Food Network, who just stumbled upon Fright Club because we had a banner on the front page of Discovery Plus. So we've been getting a lot of organic followers and people watching the show, and a lot of people that just found us just from being on the app itself. So it seems like now it's like maybe the pond has gotten a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? Because now you're targeting people that all watch similar content, the Discovery family content, as opposed to you just dropping some on network television and you're just waiting, you hoping for any and anyone to come watch your television show.
Now,
I think
are all of you equal in the roles and the responsibilities that you guys all have? Juwan?
Yeah. Are we all equal? Say it again.
Yeah, like, are you guys, every one of you doing the same thing and then coming back to the table like, this is what I got. And then deciding like how it's going to air and which story goes first. What are you coming up with?
Man, the goal of Fright Club is to see who's going to have the nightmare clip. So we all are doing our own research and trying to figure out like how we're going to one up the next person. You know what I mean? And then like we have that banter and just hopefully that we can have like that competition spirit. So like we're all trying to make sure we have that number one spot.
Mm-hmm. And before I let you guys go, Marcus, what do you want to add to it?
This was just a dope show. Let me stop saying first. This is a dope show. There's no second thought about it. The show is somewhere where you can watch it with your homies. You know what I'm saying? You can watch it with your family. You can watch it alone. A lot of times people say, our other show was so scary sometimes that you couldn't watch it. You couldn't stay in there. But this show allows you to see our humor, allows you to see our camaraderie, allows you to see, even though we have a competitive aspect to it, we still have good fun with each other. And, it's just something that reminds you of what the world was prior to some of the sadness that we faced for the last year. You know, it's just kind of reintroducing us to like just joy again. So that's what this show is about. It's just about joy. So it's fun, stuff happening that we can't explain, and we just putting our funk on it. You know what I'm saying? We adding that soul to the paranormal.
Mm-hmm. And before I let you guys go, you know, what do you guys do when you're not working and trying to come up with stuff for the show? You know, what's your day job, or how do you stay humble?
Oh man, I think staying humble comes natural because I don't think a lot of people know, before we even worked in front of the camera on television, we worked behind the scenes. And when I say we all started from the bottom, like PAs, running errands, like, you know what I mean, crafty, like all of that type stuff. So like we know where we came from, and we know how easily it is to go back to that. You know what I mean? So the act of being humble, that just comes natural. But I mean, we all got our things that we do in our day to day. Like Jawan and I own and operate a clothing line. You know, Marcus is a master barber, and yeah. So like, we are people that do everything. I don't think it's that we don't do. You know, it's Black History Month, man. You gotta throw that in there, man.
It's a new day. It's a new day, man. And like you said, how we stay humble, man. We still stay in seasons, like you said. So there's a season where we are the bosses on certain projects. Then there's a season where we are just somebody who's collaborating with whoever. So it's just like we're always kind of like having to be in a position of like, you know, just appreciating the moment that we're in. And it's just, you know, like you said, they doing their clothing line. I have an art gallery called the Musalayer in Atlanta, Georgia, and we just have plenty to do. We got 2 kids and a beautiful wife, and plenty to do. Plenty.
You gotta check it out. Got a restaurant. I also got a restaurant in Miami.
Yes.
So if you're ever in Miami, come down to South Beach, check it out. It's on Washington Avenue, in 13th Street. It's called Harold Shrimp and Chicken. But like we said, we just honestly we try to be not locked to one particular thing. We just try to diversify. Like we don't have all our eggs in one basket. We have a lot of passions and we have a lot of interests. And what's dope is like they actually integrate very well with Dalen and I doing the clothing line and Marcus doing the barbering. There's a certain level of like menswear, like knowledge that we all can have, or men's lifestyle knowledge that we have. And so we partner with different events. Marcus has Prom Kings. And like we provide suits to high school students getting ready to go to college. So it's really dope.
Well, it's good talking to you guys. Obviously, we're going to plug this show, and let's hope for the best. And, you know, let's have people talking about it. We're good.